This title was not created by me, but rather it was borrowed from a research report by the Boston Consulting Group in March 2020. At that time, during the height of the semiconductor war, after extensive research, the conclusion on the street was that the chip business is a strategic technology essential to American national security, competitiveness, and innovation. But more importantly, it is also the brains behind modern technology that is supposed to benefit everyone the world over. The United States leadership cannot survive if it cuts its trade relationship with the second largest economy in the world, China. It has been 2 years since, and let us do some fact-checking. According to Bloomberg, Chinese orders for chip manufacturing equipment from overseas suppliers rose by 58% in 2021, making China the biggest market for those products for a second year running. The reason is simple. China is the largest consumer of semiconductors due to the size of its electronic market, as well as status as a production base for entire industries. Also, according to Bloomberg, over the past 4 quarters, 19 out of 20 of the fastest-growing chip companies were from China. During the trade war, the United States thought that cutting off trade in the semiconductor sector will create stagnation in key industries in China, such as automobiles. However, while China is still dependent on global supply to fulfill its domestic demand, broad unilateral restrictions on Chinese access to U.S. technology could also deepen and accelerate the erosion of market share for U.S. firms. According to a 2020 report by the BCG, U.S. companies could lose 8% of global share and 16% of their revenues over the next 3 to 5 years if the U.S. maintains the restriction under its current entity list. There are plenty of backups. For instance, South Korea would likely overtake the U.S. as the world's semiconductor leader in a few years. China could also gain leadership over a long term once its supply chain adjustments are in place. U.S. is strong when it comes to semiconductor innovation and design, and great companies such as NVIDIA and Intel have contributed enormously to the global chip industry and propelled forward society's technological development. However, such innovation is, first of all, not entirely irreplaceable in the long run. Well, secondly, and most importantly, it needs a global market to consume, digest, and feedback so that the technology can be further improved and become meaningful. After all, China is also trying hard and focusing on upstream research and development in the chip industry, not forgetting that this is also a market that accounts for a very large portion of the global semiconductor share, generating approximately a quarter of global demand.